We go to Tammy, who's on the line in St. Joe Beach, Florida. Tammy, you're on the Ken Coleman Show.
Hi, Ken. Thank you for taking my call.
Happy to. How can I help?
I've just turned 50, and I'm at a crossroads. I need to move. I need a job that can provide me with some financial security and retirement. And I've just had some past failures in business, and I'm just having a hard time working through it. I just don't trust what I'm thinking anymore.
I gotcha. Now, were you an entrepreneur? Was it your business that you had the failures in?
Yes.
All right. What was the last one that had? Give me the quick circumstances on the last failure.
We had a restaurant, and actually I'd had two in over a 20-year period of time. And the failure of one during the 2008 led to tough times, and I never caught up. Didn't make hard decisions on time, so they kind of snowballed. And then the other one just couldn't recoup from past decisions, and we had to close it in 2016.
Okay. So it sounds to me like you know exactly what went wrong. Am I right?
Yes.
And so if you were to sit down with, let's say I set up a lunch appointment with a 28-year-old entrepreneur, another lady, it's almost like you're looking back at yourself, you know, she's 28, maybe she's 30, who cares? But she's younger. And I set up lunch between the two of you because I know her, and she says that she wants to get into the restaurant business. And I say, I want you to go meet my friend Tammy because Tammy's failed twice. And that's exactly who I wanted to talk to. And then I wanted to talk to somebody who's won. And she sat down at lunch with you. What would you tell her based on your two experiences? What would you tell her not to do? And then what would you do the third time around?
I would tell her to have a good support system with a good accountant, to have decisions made as to how much time you really want to give to a business. So you're at your best when you're in your business. And, you know, to make sure you're always looking at your goals and setting more in the future so you don't get lost.
And then what were some of those really bad decisions? Was it debt?
Debt.
Yeah.
I came up in the time before I ever listened to Dave Ramsey about you're supposed to use credit cards and just get everything you need. And though I have accounting background, when you actually work employees, you really need to know how the tax system works and or have someone you can trust. Know enough that when that person hands you the information, you know what they're talking about.
So let me ask you this, and I want honest Tammy, confident Tammy, not damaged Tammy, not scared Tammy, not embarrassed Tammy. I want Tammy. Okay. If you were able to, I could snap my fingers and you had the cash situation, you didn't have to go into debt, and you could start another restaurant, and you take all of the things you've learned from your previous failures, and you had all that in place, and you had a cash situation, you had maybe a better location, maybe it was a better restaurant. I don't know. You know how to run a restaurant. That's not the issue. You just didn't run it the right way, and I'm not sure you ever gave yourself a good chance given some of the things that happened, based on what I'm hearing. But if you could do everything the right way and I could make it happen, would you, A, do it again, and B, how confident are you that you'd be successful?
Yes. I'm about 70 to 80% confident I'd be successful.
What's the 20 to 30% that makes you not sure? What's that based on?
The financial issues. Finding someone that I could trust to help me there. Yeah,
but see, I think, okay, now I'm so glad you mentioned that. You could find somebody that's super trustworthy. You absolutely could. That's called being diligent and getting some really good recommendations and interviewing 2 or 3 people and feeling really good about it. Okay? Not having a friend who needs a job who's good with numbers, you know, or whatever happened. You got burned, didn't you?
Yes.
Yeah. But does that mean that just because you got burned by somebody that everybody who does that is dishonest? There's only 2 or 3 honest ones in the bunch? That's not true. You know better than that.
No.
All right. So my point is, your fear is creating a filter of cynicism And I understand that from an emotional standpoint, but we can't be emotional as we think about the future. We've got to be rational, and we've got to be tactical, not emotional. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
All right. Now, here's the reality check. You're not in a position, I'm guessing, to be able to start another restaurant from a cash position. Am I right?
You're correct.
All right. So you're 50 years old. Are you on your own? Are you in a relationship, double income, single income? What's your financial reality right this moment?
I'm married and single income at the time. My husband just after the hurricane, he's getting his business started back up after the hurricane.
Okay. But do we feel confident about his business going forward?
Yes.
Okay, great.
Because we've
So let me ask you this.
done all the things.
What would you do right now if money wasn't an issue? Just forget about, even if it's not another restaurant, what would you do right now? Because I think you know. I just think you're scared. What do you want to do right now?
Go back to school and get caught up on some current skills.
Like what?
And like Microsoft Office, you know.
You don't have to go to school for that.
No, I just learned that they have certificate programs where
good. There we go. Okay, great. That's what I'm talking about.
I don't have time to go finish my degree right now.
No, you don't. And you don't need to. Well, you didn't answer my question, Tammy. What do you want to do? If I everything is easy and I just well, go right now, what are you doing? Are you open up another restaurant?
If I had the money to do it correctly, yes, I would do that.
Okay, so here's what I want you to do. I want you to practice my proximity principle because you have a lot to offer. Okay? Do you know what my proximity principle says? In order to do what you want to do, you've got to be around people that are doing it. That's the restaurant business, and in places where it is happening. So you need to be in a restaurant or in a restaurant school or something. You got to be in that industry, getting your skills sharpened, learning things that you didn't even know you needed to learn, and meeting people. And that's the huge issue. And I want you to get employed so we're bringing in some money. But I want you to work for somebody else. Here's why. If it were up to me, Tammy, I'd get you a position managing a nice restaurant, a successful one. And the reason is because you know everything there is to know about a restaurant, don't you?
Yes.
Okay. So you could add some real value leading a current restaurant for somebody else. And in a management position, you're going to make the most money possible. And so I want you doing that. And I want you walking around with your head on a swivel. This is how I would do it differently if I did it again. I never did it that way. I did that better. Well, maybe I could do it this way. You know, the point is you're observing everything and you're creating notes. And you're helping somebody else win and win big. And you're putting money away, and you're just putting money away and putting money away and putting money away. And you're only 50 years old. You're very young. And I'd be totally cool if I were you, waiting until you're 55 or whatever the amount of age is. Even if you're 56, 57, you finally got the money to open up that restaurant, but you're going to do it right this time. And you really wait. You hold and hold and hold until you get the right restaurant, the right location, the right whatever. But you got to get yourself back in the restaurant game. Because that's where you're most valuable to people with your experience, and you enjoy it because that's what you would do. So go help somebody else. Get your brain rested. Get your heart healed by helping somebody else win, and you're not. It's not the pressure's not on you. That's where you need to be, and you save up, and then you launch this thing the right way, and you make sure you got the best people around you. Don't you launch too soon. You know when to launch, and you know how to launch.